And okay, can you just grant me sharing rights so that I can share on this device? Um, I have my two devices. Maybe you want to grant the rights on this particular one, Andy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, thanks. So, um, there's a question on the chat, and maybe I should start from there. Well, not really a question, but I think something that needs clarification. And so, Malima is asking the difference between the instance of statement, or rather the instance of property and the subclass property. Let me share my screen and see if we could start from there for today. Let me know if you can see my screen. It's coming up. Um, yeah. So can you see my screen? If you have more questions, please use the chat. Type in all your questions on the chat. Keep typing them in. I'll be responding to them and see how far we can go for today. And as well, I'll be taking um, some extra demos too, some amazing things that you want to try out on your own. So, for instance, let me see if I can search for cats. So, this is an item about cats. The QID for cats is Q146. So, you can see there's a description in English. It says a small domesticated carnivorous mammal. And now you can see there's a first property here, it says instance of, which is usually the first. And then there's subclass of, right? So, you know, the instance of is generally telling you, okay, what exactly is this item all about? The subclass of is basically saying, okay, is it a subset? Is like what category does it fall under as a subset of the original instance of? So in science, there's like what we call hierarchy, where you have kingdom, animalia, plant, kingdom, animal, plants, like just the hierarchy of living things. But um, in the in a category, there are like subclasses. So we know cat is an organism, is a living organism, but a subclass of a domesticated mammal because it is not the only mammal that you know. So basically, if you want to use this property for an item, you need to know if you need to confirm if the subclass, if you know the subclass of the item itself, the the subclass of is used as like to give more, provide more information to the item that you are considering at the point. For instance, volcano is a subclass of mountain, as you can see here. But Everest is instance of a mountain. You know, Mount Everest, you might have heard of it, or if you don't, you've not seen it before, you have heard of it or read about it. So Mount Everest is one of the tallest mountains in the world. But if you have, if you just say, oh, um, if you have it just as an instance of, that's fine. But when you add like a subclass, you now begin to consider volcano. What is volcano? Volcano is like is is a kind of let me just show you. I'll show you Everest. Okay, so you know when you hear Everest, Mount Everest is obviously the instance of is going to be a mountain. But if you're going to add a subclass of to this, you have to be sure that, oh, do I know the subclass of Mount Everest? Does it have a subclass that it falls under? That's what we consider before adding a subclass of. You get, yes, put it this way. The instance of is the compound word, but or like the family word or family name, but um the subclass of is the subclass of is like the a subset of that particular item in the compound word or in the family word. So that's like I don't know if you grab the usage of the both of them. If usually people go for an instance of, but the subclass of property is just extra and it doesn't apply to every item. It depends on the kind of item you're working on before you use it as a statement. For this item about a cat now, you can see that it's used here to bring more clarity and say, okay, we know that cat is an organism, but it's also a domesticated mammal. So you see the subclass of here. And then you also people keep it as a pet, so it works. So, but for this one, I don't know. I don't know why it's here. Okay, this is flagged. It's saying that Felidae should have a statement subclass of what's Felidae. You click on it to know what it is. Felidae is family of mammals in the order of carnivorans. Okay, so you see here that instance of his taxon. These like images of mammals that are in this taxon. This is like a tiger. This is also another tiger. So what they're asking you to do, what this thing is flagged is saying that unfairly they should add a subclass of for it to for this tag to disappear. So what you need to do is to think of what subclass does fairly they fall under as a family of mammal. If it doesn't, then it's fine. If you don't know it also, it's fine. Maybe somebody else who knows it can come and update the data here. So that's just how it works. If you're not certain about using the subclass of, it's okay. You can always use the instance of, which is like the most common, um, the most common property that you should find in every item. It just basically tells you what the item is. So also in Wikidata, the same way we have these QIDs, right? Is these QIDs are unique identifiers for what? For items, right? We also have unique identifiers for properties. So I told you, remember, in the first class we had, all of this that you see on your left side, these are properties. Then these are values. So when you combine a property and a value, you get a statement. So this is one statement. The subclass of is another statement. The has use is another statement. The image is another statement. So each of these properties have their own unique identifiers. So the more you work on Wikidata, you get conversant with what these properties are. You even get familiar with the kind of properties and statements you should use. You know, for human beings, the kind of statements you should be adding is things like instance of, country of citizenship, their sex or gender, and their occupation if they have, maybe their height, their name, their surname, which is their last name, their given name. I'm just giving you examples of the kind of statements you should be adding. If the item is about uh, um, a thing or a place, if it's about a place like a location, you can add statements about instance of, you can add location, you can add coordinate location, you can add country. You can even add, just give you examples of statements you can add. If it's about an animal like this one, you add instance of, you can add the subclass of, you can add an image. You can also add an image for a human being and for a place, like a building or a location. You can add the image if you have. You can also add videos, as you can see, on any item, provided is related and is adding information, not just for adding sake. So these are just examples of statements you can add. For each property, there is a unique ID and it starts with the letter P followed by a number. Remember, I told you that for for items, they have unique IDs, which are Q IDs. They start with letter Q and a number, or followed by numbers. For properties, they start with letter P followed by numbers. So the property for the unique ID for instance of property is P31. If you click on it, it will take you to the property. You can see it's P31. So anywhere you see P followed by numbers, you know they're talking about property there. But anywhere you see Q followed by numbers, you know you're talking about what? Items. So I hope you get this. It's very important. I forgot to mention it, but then it's good that we're talking about it now. So you not be surprised just in case you encounter um, um, a PID and you say, "Oh, I didn't know about this." So good that we're learning about it now. Also, each PID is different from another. So there's no property that have the same PID. You can see if you click on this one now, the PID for subclass of is P279. If you interact with it over time, you even know them by heart. Like you know these numbers. You get so familiar with it, especially if they are the properties and the statement that you use often. You will know to be easier for you to add them. So sometimes you see people, they don't want to type in the name. They just type on the search bar. You can search using QIDs. You can search using PIDs. If I do a random search, I can say Q2345. Anything that has this code 2345 will come out. If I search for Q 789, whatever it is that has 789 will come up. You can see. So if I search for PIP 123, if it's assigned, it will come up. This is the property. You can see P123 is a property for publisher. It's used for maybe books. When you are working on an item that is about a book. This is the property you should use, or one of the properties you can use to, improve the item more. You can add and tell us who is the publisher of that book, or not even just a book, maybe a music. You can see music, podcasts, game or software, printed work. You can use this property, and then the value will be the name of the publisher. That's all. So I don't know if I've said a lot of things, but I hope that we are together. Just let me know in the chat if we are good to go. Then let me know. We can continue. But if you still have further questions at this point, you can still let me know, and then I can maybe go over it again. So please confirm, are we good? Are we all following at this point? I just explained the QID and the PID, the difference. Also, I've explained before now, difference between the instance of property and the subclass of property. So you familiar with these things whenever you encounter them. The good thing about Wikidata is that it's never exhaustive. The more you keep working, the more you get to learn more things and you get familiar. Okay, see some responses. So we are good to go. So yeah, let me also show you another thing. Now, the last time we were talking about setting your preferences, your interface. If you look at my interface, I have a number of scripts and tools and gadgets that are working, like this one now, proof, recoin, Wikidata summary, and a lot of other. These are what I set on my interface for myself, so that I use it at will. You can do the same for yourself. You can choose to set your preferences. You can choose. The last time we were looking at how to even set how your interface looks like. Now, when you want to do that, you make sure you're logged in. You can see I'm logged in. This is my username. All these buttons here are very important. This one, discussion. Anytime you see discussion or talk, when you click on it, this is where you can discuss things that are related to Wikidata. So this is more like the chat where you can see people ask questions or people throw in their suggestions. That's what you do on the discussion page or on the talk page. This one is when you want to view in a source mode. So we have two types of edits in case you've not heard about it. On Wiki, we have two types of edit. We have the visual edit and the source edit. So the visual edit is the normal way you see, you put in stuff like this. But let me show you how source edit looks like. Source edit has a little more of wiki text and a couple of other things. So this is like how this source edit looks like. You see, this is even a bit better. Let me see if I would find a very comprehensive page. Yeah, let's see how far. Okay, so this is now look at this. This is how the source edit looks like. See? So it has a lot of wiki text. It has this is how it looks like. This is how the interface looks like. So I just wanted to show you. But for visual edits, which is the one you're mostly conversant with, you don't have all this wiki text. What you just see is straight up interface like this that you can easily edit. This is how the visual edit looks like. And so this is the read mode. If you're not editing, you automatically be in read mode where you just want to read, just want to scroll and see what information is available, right? So that's that for uh that for so yes, I was showing you guys all these buttons and what they do. Then view history. Anytime you want to see who worked on what, for example, in the last session we were working on this item Evans Spiridelis. So I can see, because I'm a patroller on Wikidata, I'll see that somebody made one edit here, is giving me this information because I'm a patroller. And there will be, if you're not a patroller, you would likely not see this. So I will, on the view history, anybody, whether you're a patroller or not, you can always click on it to see who added what. You can see Mel Catherine added this family name, Spirideli. She added this on 13th of February at 5:39. That's 17:39. So this is useful because you'll be able to, because Wikidata is a collaborative project, you'll be able to see who did what, who made what edit, even what time did they make the edit. And you even see what did the person do exactly. So if I want to even check further, I can even I will click on this prev, P-R-E-V. When you click on it, it will show you exactly what you can see. Tell me what Mel Catherine added. You can see she added these two things. So I will have an idea. Okay, nice. then I will know what to do. If it is a useful information, good. If it's not, I have the option to roll back, because this you only see this because I am a patroller on Wikidata. Usually, what patrollers do is they just have to verify the information that people are putting, if it is accurate or not, and if the data that are available, if they have also relevance to the project. So patroller that's what patrollers do basically. So if what Mel Catherine did is wrong, I have a feature that can easily roll it back, or I can undo it. It depends on whichever one I want to use. If I click on roll back or undo, it will restore it back to the last person who made an edit. This is me. And before I edited this page, you can see the person who edited this page or did it on the 13th of December 2024. So this is the person who, I can even see who created it. The person who created this item created it on the 26th of April 2023. This is the username of the person. This is the number of bytes it was at creation. And you use these two quick statements to create the item. So this is what you can use the view history to do. So I'm going back to the main page. This is the main page. Remember, this is where we're at. And if I want to see people who have edited this main page, I can still click on it and I'll see all the people that have edited the main page. And so this is the last person who edited it on the 22nd of January 2023. This is the username. This person is an admin on Wikidata. When you see a bracket attached to anybody's username, you know that the person is an admin. So what the person did was he reverted an edit that he made. So he reverted edits by this person. He restored it back to the last revision, which is Jarek. Yeah. So usually we don't allow people to edit the main pages of like user interface of this project, because we are usually like it's, as you can see, there's no edit button here. So it's only people who have interface admin rights that can edit it. That's why you see most of the people here who are editing the page are admins, as you can see. So if you don't have the rights, you will not be able to edit this page. But you can work on items and any other thing at all. So when you click on more, you'll be able to see more features if you want to subscribe to this page or you want to purge. Now let's look at these tabs up here. This is the language you want this interface to display. If I want to change it from English, maybe I speak French and I want the interface to show me French. I'll change it to French and everything is going to change. See, now I'm in French, as you can see. This is I don't know how to speak French, but if you're a French speaker here, you'll be able to understand. Remember, we said that Wikidata is multilingual. So your language is supported on the project. Just in case you don't understand English, you can switch to your own language and everything works well for you. Also, I can change it back. I can still change it back to the language of my choice. I can change it to my native language, Igbo. It's now in Igbo. So everything I'll find around there, Igbo, as long as it's translated. I can still change it again back to English. So this feature is just to help people who are not English speakers, so they will not be totally lost. You get. So let me change it back in just a minute. A second. I'm trying to put it back to English. So it's back on English now. Let me know if it has changed. You see the interface has changed also here. So this is what Wikidata does basically. You can change your language here. Then this is your username. If it's written in blue like this, it means I've added some details about myself. If you have not, your own is going to be displayed in red, like Mel Catherine. Let me show you. Whenever I see somebody's username in red, it means person doesn't have it, anything on their user page. So, like this is Mel Catherine's username is in red. Anytime you see a red link, red page, it means it's empty. That page is empty. So I have a couple of things on my user page. You can also do that for yourself if you want to. You can basically fill it up with anything of your choice. So it's up to you if you want to. And it's optional, like I said. Uh, what else? We also have this is the user page I was speaking about. So we also have this this thing that looks like an alarm, kind of. Yeah, is for you to be informed about notifications whenever somebody um spoke to you or anything that happened. This is where you get updates. Why here is for notice. This is also where you get updates about what's happening on items that you have interacted with, or if somebody sent you a message on your talk. So your talk is where people can interact with you and talk to you about items or anything at all. So this is like my talk. You can see all the conversations that have gone up here.
Okay. Chino, so please, there's a message. There's a question in the chat box. I don't know if you can attend to that, or should I read it out?
So you can also talk to somebody. Usually we don't Okay, I think I'm back now. Sorry, I can you hear me, Andy? I was lost for a
Yeah.
moment.
Welcome back. Okay, there's also a message in the chat box. I don't know if you can attend to that.
Okay, it says how can I add image to my statement? And I added reference to my edit, but it didn't show. What should I do? Okay. Ramatu, do you have can you put the item you are working on? If you remember it, just let me know what item you wanted to add the image to, and we can do it. I'll show you. So let me know if you can remember or you have the link or you remember
Oh,
the title of what
the
item.
hello, sir. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the assignment is about our assignment. So when I start editing about the name of the person, and I try adding an image to it, but it's not adding up. It's
Do you know the
telling me
name of the
that
person? What's the name?
let,
Okay, just
let me
copy the
check my
link from the
You
group
can type
and
it.
paste it here. You can
okay.
paste the link as well.
Yeah. So while we wait for her to do that, I think we can also proceed. So I was talking about the doc page. So what the doc page does is where you interact with other editors and they can talk to you when you want to send a message to them. You go to their own doc page. Ramatu, do you have it now?
Okay, while we wait for her, there's another message on the group, another question, I mean.
Okay. Can you help me read out? Yes, okay. Explain on how we can add occupation and employer by the same statement. Is a screenshot below the tweet. We put from the same statement. Okay, I'm trying to view. Oh. Okay. Anyway, if you can tell me give me the name or the QID or the link, whichever one you can. Either the QID, the name, or the link of the article you're working on, and then I can show you all here. Okay, Beatrice, are you cool? Let me just copy it once. I'll go to my search bar. I'll type in Beatrice Ayiko. I open it and it tells me that Beatrice is a Ugandan athletics administrator, athlete, and sports activist. Okay. So you want to add occupation statement. It's already here. Let me see who worked on it. I'll go to view history. I'll check who are the people that worked on this item. Kenny worked on this item. She added sex or gender. She added country of citizenship. She added occupation. She added employer statements. So this is basically how it works. You've done it already, Kenny.
So can I ask?
Yeah.
So I wanted to know if, because right now I want to add employer and occupation. I wanted to know if I should put them as separate statements or under the same statement.
If you want to add another occupation that the person has, look at where I'm hovering. If you can see my arrow, my cursor rather, you click on add value and I'll type what other occupation. If she's a politician, I'll say politician. When I click on it, I'll click on publish and add my reference. If I
Say,
want,
wait, okay, click on edit for employer, just any and then edit. Edit. Yes.
this is
So
for
I want
athlete.
to know if, yes, I want to know if from here athlete, I would say add qualifier and then employer to show where she was employed as an athlete. Is that a way to do it?
Okay, you can say add qualifier and
Mm-hmm.
tell us start time when she started as an athlete. You can say
Oh,
2005.
so I can't
Then
say employer here.
no, let me see. You can search for the if it works. Yeah. I can say Olympics.
Okay,
Then I'll say when she stopped as an athlete, 2025. These
okay,
ones are qualifiers, but they are only going to reflect under athletes.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. I wanted to know if it's allowed for me to use employer as a qualifier.
you can.
Okay, thank you.
If you add something and you get a flag or a prompt, you click on it to know, oh, what is it saying? Then if the property is not to be used there, you'll get a message immediately. If it is, then you're good to go. Same thing for employers too. So do we have the item for Ramatu? Okay, and is this the item for Ramatu?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I think I should just take the QID. So Ramatu is asking how to add an image. I will search using the QID. You are working on Nshai Wangola. The person is a Kenyan oratorist and performance scholar. Let me see what has been done here. I'll click on view history because the last edit was made by PyBot. Okay. So you want to add an image, right? If you want to add an image, click on add statement, type image as your property. Image will come out, as you can see. Select this image. Then I'll type the person's name. Maybe I'll search for Mshai. What's the other name? Mwangola. So you see, it gives me Mshai Wangola 2005 as an image. Then I click on it. Then I click on publish. So this is image of Mshai. You have successfully added an image. So Ramatu, did you get it? It's very simple. Is Ramatu still here? I hope she's still on this call. But this is basically how to add an image. Remember, this image is coming from Wikimedia Commons. So whenever you search for image about any item and you can't find it, you don't have any, usually you must have a drop down. Let me show you what I mean. When I search for Shai, you see I'll begin to have drop down of options. Let me scroll up so you can be able to see very well. So these are options. So you must choose from one of the options here. So whenever you search and finally you didn't get like the exact image, or you didn't get the drop down of options, then it means that the image is not yet on Wikimedia Commons, because these images are coming directly from Wikimedia Commons. They're not coming from the internet. They're coming from Wikimedia Commons. Wikimedia Commons is like a gallery on our phone where we store pictures, videos, and all of that. So that's the gallery that we have on Wiki, where you store your videos, your photos, audios, PDFs, you find them. So that's how it works. So if that's good, then we can proceed. Yeah. So I was speaking about preferences earlier. So on preferences, this is where you get to set how you want your interface to be like, right? So it's your choice. And also you can do it from appearance. You can do it for how you want editing to be. You can set your fonts, as you can see here. You can set how you want your preview to look like, and a lot of other things. The way you have your phone settings, that's how it works. But on gadgets, you see, on this gadget, when you come to gadgets, some of these are checked, the boxes are checked, some are not checked. There are a lot of gadgets that we have on Wikidata here. And these gadgets are basically user scripts that are enabled to make editing easier for you. Each of these gadgets have what they do. So this merge, if I want it, what it does is that it duplicates items. For instance, if there's an item about Keniwe, and I want to merge it together because we shouldn't have two Keniwes that are the same thing. What I need to do is I would, because I've checked this merge, I'll see, let me show you. I'll come to more and I'll have this option here, merge with. Then I'll type in the QID or the name of the duplicate and I'll click on merge and it merges them together. That's what it does for the merge. So there are a lot of other tools as well. Sometimes people say, oh, how do I know what kind of statement I will add? What kind of statement do I need to add? If you see on this statement, on this item here, I have this tool called Recoin. So this tool called Recoin, what it does is that it gives you suggestions on what kind of properties and statements you can add to any item you are currently viewing. So that's what the tool does for you. You don't need to be thinking, oh, this, for example, who's working on this? Ramatu. Maybe you want to improve it more and you're thinking, what can I add? What can I add? What the tool does is that when you activate the gadget, it suggests to you what kind of statements you should add, and you can go ahead to add them. So here it's telling us that on this item, you can add date of birth, you can add given name, we can add employer, we can add country of citizenship, we can add educated at, we can add family name, we can add place of birth, field of work, and image. So you can now go ahead to add them. On this plus sign here, you can just type in the name directly if you have it. So the given name, if you know her given name, if her given name is Mshai, or if her given name is Wangola, you can type it here in the box. For example, I think, let me see if her given name is, I don't know what her name is, but I think the given name should be, let me click on her. This is a site link to Wikipedia. Somebody added it already. So, okay. Her name is Shai. Okay. I think her last name is Wangola. So her given name should be, Shai. So I can directly do this here. I can type Shai here. Shai is not even a given name yet. What we have as given names are, what we now have is a family name, which is Shaili. So I have to create, if I want to do it, I have to create an item that is in Shai, that is a given name. Then I add it. Let's try Wangola. See, no match. So I have to do the same thing. Let's see. I think they said she's Ugandan, which is Kenyan. Okay, she's Kenyan. So we can do country of citizenship. I can say Kenya. Country in Eastern Africa, yes. And I click on publish. So instead of me adding it directly here, you can see it has added it for me, country of citizenship. So that's what the tool does for you. If you like this tool, Recoin, and you want to activate it for yourself, go to preferences, go to gadgets, scroll down the list of gadgets here, keep scrolling, you will find Recoin. This is it, Recoin. When you find it, you check the box like this and click on save. Mine is already activated, that is why it's checked. When you click on save, you refresh your page and go back to the item you're working on, and you see that it will become activated for you. See? So that's what the Recon tool does for you. It relieves you the stress of thinking, oh, what kind of statements should I add? What kind of property is best to add here? And all of that. So that way you maximize time. You get? Also, I can switch to dark mode. I'm on dark mode already. And if I don't want to, I can switch to light mode. Then also the sandbox. Sandbox is a place where you can experiment. You can put things there, maybe whatever it is that you want to keep on your sandbox, you can put it there. So you see, this one I have on my sandbox is a tool, is documentation for a tool that I worked on some time ago. I have it on my sandbox here. So it's just like a draft page for you where you can keep things related to wiki. Make sure it's related to wiki, not just random details. So that's it for Sandbox. Also, you can, if you want to see everything that you've done on Wikidata ever, this is where you see your contribution or everything you've done so far. You see your total number of edits, you see everything you've done so far from beginning to now. And you can also access the data here, everything here. And so watch lists. Watch list is just like the way you star things. It's like saying, oh, these items, I want to put it on my watch list. I want to be monitoring them. I want to get notifications if any edit was made, if any yes, if any edit happens on that item, let me know and I'll put it on my watch list. So, for example, how do you add things to your watch list? This item about beaches are equal. You see a star here, this star. When I click on it, it will turn to blue. See, now I've added it to my watch list. Anytime anybody makes edit on beaches are equal, I will get to know because I'll be updated from my watch list. I'll be seeing all the things going on on beaches are equal. See, I just added it now. So currently, these are the things that have been happening. Today, Keniwe added occupation statement, deputy chairperson. I will go back and see. I'll confirm what she did. She added it around just 2 minutes ago, 16:53. Keniwe added this statement. So that's just basically how the watch list works. You just get updated on any item you choose to add. You can add as many as you want on your watch list. You can also decide to remove it. If I don't want it anymore, I will come back to this item. I will click on that star and remove it from my watch list. That's all. That's how it works. So, one question I want to answer. Sometimes people say, how do I get to find out what data is available so far on Wikidata? We say that Wikidata is an open knowledge base. How can people access data? How can you query? How can you query what is available? So if you have that question, of course, there's an answer to it. Wikidata has developed a tool. It's called Wikidata Query Service, where you can query the data that is existing so far on Wikidata. Whatever it is that is available as an information, you can retrieve it. You can pull data from Wikidata using the query service. So, and how does it work? This is the interesting part. You can access it directly on any portal, any page you are. Just go to the left panel, you see this query service, right? You click on it, it will take you to the Wikidata query service. Now, if you're not very good with codes, it uses the Sparkle as the language. But if you're not very good with codes, there's an alternative for you. So we use the query builder, which is what I recommend for especially people who are starting newly to edit and to query. What the query builder does is that it just puts it in a very easy way for you to retrieve the information you're looking for without you having to write Sparkle code query languages. So you don't need to have any knowledge or background of programming language to query. But if you are good with Sparkle, you can also learn as well. If you want to really write in Sparkle, you can learn. But if you're not good, this is where you can fall to. So the query builder. Now, what the query builder does is that it just asks you, what are you looking for? And fill in the details and then click on the run the query and it will immediately give supply answers. So let's say, for instance, we want to find out the statistic, the data of every woman in Ghana that is a politician, right? So our first things I'll say is asking me, okay, property, I'll say instance of Then it asks me, do you want it to match the value with or without, or regardless of the value? So, but I want it to match the value, so I'll keep it on matching. And I'll say, I want it to be human. So the next thing you ask is, do you want it to be with or without reference? If you want it to only with reference, or I can leave it with or without reference, with and without reference rather. Then the next thing, add condition. So what I'm doing is we are trying to pull the data of all Ghanaian female politicians that is existing on Wikidata. Maybe we want to build an app. We want to pull the data of Ghanaian politicians that are females, and we don't know where to get it. I'll come to Wikidata as a platform, as a project. Come here, run the query that will supply me all the data that I need, and I'll use it to go and build what I want to build. Or I'm doing a research. As a researcher, a political researcher, I want to find out the data of all the Ghanaian politicians that are females. I can do that. So it's very simple. It has this option here. Do you want it with or without? I leave it as with because I want it on with. It asks you the property you are searching for. I said instance of. I want it to match the value that I have in mind, human being, because I'm looking for a human being. They ask me, do you want it to supply you a result that is with or without, with and without references? I can change it. I can leave it at what it is. But if I search for this alone now, I won't get female Ghanaians in politics. I'll add another condition to, it open another box again and say, okay, country of citizenship, I can put it, country of citizenship, I'll say Ghana. Ghana, I leave it as matching, right? I leave it as with and without references. Now we have two parameters in quotes, or two properties. First one says there are people that are human beings and people that are Ghanaians. If I run this query, it will not still give me what I need. So I now say, oh, I need women, only women. So I'll put another condition. I'll click on add condition and say, give me, I want the sex or gender to be only female. So I'll leave it as female. You can see. So now I have three parameters or three properties. First one says they are human beings. Second one says human beings that are Ghanaians. And the third one is saying that human beings that are Ghanaians and that are females. With this now, I can search and ask it to give me a result. So you come down and say, do you want it to limit the result to 100? I can say, no, I want it to give me a result of 500 or 1,000, whatever number you want to. So I can just say 200 for a start. Then I'll click on run query. It's going to start running the query, and this is the results, you see. So now this is a list of 200 women that are Ghanaians. There are a lot more than this, actually. Let me show you. So this is it. This is just 200 though. So if I increase the number of my results to 500, I say I want you to give me 500 women who are Ghanaians and in politics. Run the query for me. And it's running. So, okay. So this is 500 here now. 500 Ghanaian women who are in politics. So if I knew how to write Sparkle, if I was going to write it in Sparkle, I wouldn't need to go through this process of this This is how it looks like in Sparkle. This is the code. Do you see the difference? So if you're not into programming, this query builder will work for you. But if you know how to write Sparkle, this is what you just need to type. I just need to put in the parameters that I need. I put in P31, which is instance of, I put in P27, I put in P21, put my limit of 500 and hit query. So this is the difference between the query builder and the query service. Query builder is just to help people who don't know how to write code. You can basically query anything you want to. I can query plants, I can query for animals, I can query for people, I can query for things, I can query for places. Basically anything you can query for on Wikidata. So this is what the tool does for you. And I hope you get to try it out and let me know what you think. You can start by running very simple queries. If you don't, I can even delete. I can start afresh. I can delete and start afresh and say, okay, I need, I'll start with instance of, I need, for example, car, all the cars that are on Wikidata. And I'll say, give me 100. And I'll click on run query. You can see, these are a list of cars on Wikidata. Maserati, Range Rover. These are a list of cars on Wikidata. Peugeot. If I want the number to increase, I can increase my search. I'll say make it 500. I'll click on run query. Let's see how much. So you see, I have a lot more now. So you have a lot more, as you can see. So this is how it works. You can search for anything basically. If I don't want to query for cars, I can query for maybe say instance of maybe church buildings. So this is it. If I want to be specific, I want to say, okay, church buildings in Uganda. I'll put a country. I'll put Uganda as my value. I'll click on run the query again. So it's going to streamline research to only the church buildings are in Uganda. So these are church buildings in Uganda. So this is just how it works. Something just came to mind. I think I should speak about it. So there's a difference between country and country of citizenship. Both of them are properties, but are different. So country of citizenship, you use it for human beings only. Let me show you. Have it as a property. Yeah, P2, P27. So country of citizenship is to be used for human beings. But you have another property for country. That one is used for things, places, and all of that. So you can see you have country as an item, you have country as you have country as a property. So whenever I see the P, it's telling that this is a property. Whenever I see Q, it's telling that this is what an item. Yes, I just remembered something. I was going to talk about it, the external identifiers. So I don't know if you have an example of an item that has external identifiers. Okay, good. So this item, we're working on it, if you can remember last week, in the last session, Evans Spiridelis. So it has, after the statement, we have identifiers 1, 2, 3 so far. So these identifiers come from external databases. We know IMDb is like a movie, IMDb ID is a movie identifier. Is like it, okay, it's called Internet Movie Database Identifier. So when you go to IMDb online and search for Evans Spiridelis, there's a unique ID that is attached to him. So you come here and put it on. When you type it in, Evans Spiridelis will show. I'm sure I'm talking about. For example, if he is an actor, if he's an actor, you come to IMDb. I search for Mercy Johnson. Mercy Johnson, for example. Let's see if Mercy Johnson has. Didn't get the result. Okay, it's up. This is Mercy Johnson Okoji. Yes, she's an actress, a producer, and a writer. So you can see that you can basically search for. You can basically search for any actor that you know of a choice. So let's search for Evans Spiridelis, which is the item we're working on. This. Or type Evans Spiridelis. So this is him. So how do I leave here? I don't want this. Okay. Good. So this is for Evans Spiridelis. It shows you. Let's scroll down. Shows you all the details you need to know about him. And if you want to get his unique ID, I usually get it from the top here. You can see the unique ID here. NM1672082068. So this is it. NM167208. Whenever you type it here, if I wanted to add it, I will just come and click on under the identifiers. I will say IMDb. Let me show you. I'll come under the identifier, add it as a statement, IMDb ID. And then I'll type in the ID here, NM167. That's how it works. So if the item is about a researcher, that have publications, I can go to Google Scholar or PubMed. Google Scholar is like one of the renowned IDs that we have. So on Google Scholar, I can search for who is like a renowned researcher that I can search for now. Let me search for Wole Soyinka. So let's see. Only showing car. He's a Nigerian writer. And I'll scroll down to external IDs. Let me know if he has. See, he has so many external IDs attached to him. He has VIAF, he has ISNI. These are like popular ones. Under the Nigerian Library of Brazil, he has an ID there that is attached to a unique ID to his name. So if you click on this values, the numbers, it will take you to the exact portal. I don't know if he has on Google Scholar already. In the National Library of Israel, he has an ID there. So you know the way that libraries have IDs that you can be able to, that are assigned uniquely to a book or a writer, authors, and all of that. That's the essence of the external IDs. So just by clicking on it, you'll be able to he has an ID on Goodreads as well. So Wojnka is a prolific writer. He has an ID on IMDb too as well. So generally, it's for linking the databases of external IDs of people, of books and creative works that have been ID'd already, even of monuments that and catalogs and all of that. That's the essence of the external IDs. They work differently from the unique IDs that you know. They do not have the same function. And a good way for you to know is that the external IDs, they are added as statements, but the unique IDs, like for QIDs and the PIDs for properties, they are just a combination of letters and numbers, and they are only existing on Wikidata. But these external identifiers, they are, as the name implies, they're in external databases. The essence of bringing them on linked data is to link the information so that the data on those IDs are linked to this Wikidata here. So whoever wants to make research more, you want to you have further questions, you want to look them up, you get to see it. Somebody is asking what's the difference between URL and reference URL. So the difference is that URL means Uniform Resource Locator. URL is just saying, oh, what is the link? See, this thing I just highlighted is a URL. If I go to another tab, this is a URL. If I go to another tab, this is a URL. If I go to another tab, this is a URL of a YouTube move. This is a URL of Translate Wiki. These things are URL, just those links that have that takes you to a site on the web. That's URL. But reference URL is on Wikidata. When you see reference URL, it's saying, okay, the site you got it exactly. It's just like a terminology we use that's asking you to say, give us the URL that is referencing this work or this information or this data, this claim they are bringing. Tell us where you got it from. You now paste the link and like this, something like this. For example, if I want to reference this, I'll select reference URL and I have to paste the link of this. For instance, if I got the information from this site, I have to copy this URL and paste it and it becomes my reference URL. Once I paste it, it becomes my reference URL. That's the difference and that's how it works. So I see questions. Barack Obama, Nelson Mandela. Andy, do you? Okay, they're asking for the link to the query. If you want okay, Andy has already dropped the link on the chat. If you want the link to the query, it's right there on the chat. Just go to query.wikidata.org on any Wikidata site that you're on. You will see that the left hand side panel, if you're using this scheme. You always see it here, query service. Once you click on query service, it takes you to where you can be able to type in your Sparkle. If you're not good with Sparkle, just click on this query builder. Whether you're using your mobile phone or you're working on desktop or your laptop, it's the same thing. You can do it. If you know how to type your Sparkle, you can type in your Sparkle here. If you're not good, if you don't know how to type in the code, just click on query builder. It take you to the platform where you'll be able to now put in it, ask you what are you searching for, what do you want to query. When you finish putting what you're looking for, you click on run the query and you get your results. When you get your results, you can even export it. You can export your result in form of CSV format, JSON, and any other format that you wish. You can even export only QIDs if you want to. So more questions. I think we've covered a lot today. And then you can always come back and watch the recordings if you need to. Yes, hands are raised. Please go ahead.
Good evening. Good evening. My question is, thanks for the training. Do they delete item that is being created, like the way they delete for Wikipedia? On Wikidata, did admin also delete item that you created? Thank you.
Yes, an item can be deleted if it's not notable.
Okay, thank you.
When we say when it's not notable, it means the item doesn't have any verifiable reference. There's no single reference to any of the statements you added there. There is no site links, or is not meeting a structural need. In essence, is not serving as a prop or as a statement in another item. If it doesn't meet any of these three options, then it will be nominated and deleted. Do we have more questions? Andy, over to you. I think I can stop sharing here. If you have more questions, now is a good time. I think we've covered a couple of things. If there's something that I missed out or something in your mind, you can ask now. We have some few minutes before I get off on this call, so I'm available. I don't know if we have submitted all the assignments, but I think I had one last assignment. I would send it to Andy. I'd like you guys to try on adding site links to few items, or you could even do it by your own, on your own rather. I'll send you, let me show you the link. I need to share my screen again. So when you get to this link, you would see this. This is the link I showed you guys the other time. The tool is called Duplicity. You can use Duplicity to find articles that do not have site links currently and link them up to the wiki articles. So it's according to your wiki. If you speak English, you can use the English wiki. You can also do it on your own wiki. But for English wiki, let's say we choose a category of articles about living people that do not have Wikidata site links yet. So they are like 200 and yeah. right? 200, yes. So you can choose any from here. What do you do? Let me take the last one. The last one says Rafael Renila. Click on check. Let me first send you this link. I can put this one on the chat. It's duplicity. So when you get on the link, select any of your choice. Click on check. It will check by itself and say, oh, is there a match? Is there an article without a linked Wikidata? So we have matches here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an item, Rafaela Renila. So I'll scroll down to see if it has site links. So it doesn't have any site link yet on Wikipedia. This is the article on the left side. The right-hand side is the Wikidata. The middle side is the place where you get your suggestions. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these ones, I don't think they are suitable. Or let me put it this way, the most closely related and suitable. So Raphael, if I want to add it directly on this duplicity tool, I can click on add to. So what I'm doing is that I'm linking the article, Wikipedia article, I'm linking it to the Wikidata item so that the information be connected. So I can just click on add to, and immediately it has done it for me, automatically linked it to me. So if we go to Raphael Renila now, you will now see a site link that has been added. So you see, this is the site link. I just added it now using that tool. So that's what the tool does for you. So you can try it on your own. Let me know what you think. If you do not want to add directly from the tool, you can also do it by yourself. When you pick, this is, I've done for so I'll go to Joyce Townsley or search for Joyce Townsley on Wikidata. This is an item about Joyce Townsley. I'll scroll down to see, does it have any site link? No. I'll click on edit. I'll click on EN, which is English. I'll type Joyce Townsley and wait for the article to come up on the drop down. This is the article on the drop down. I'll click on it and I'll publish. So I've successfully added a site link here. There's a reference in the article, in the item, reference. So this item is notable enough. It has references, it has site links, so it's verifiable. You can also check to see. So that's how it works. So let me know if you try it, and if you have any challenge at all, you can still reach out and you see how to. I'll see how to support you. So stop sharing. Thank you very much. I'm still open to answer your questions if you have any. Over to you, Auntie.
Okay, thank you very much, Chinonso. This was an amazing session. And I hope the mentees and fellows had a nice time. Like, maybe they didn't even expect they'll be learning about tools. Wow, this was awesome. I learned something new as well. Please, let's give our trainer a virtual round of applause. Okay, so he's still on our group. So if you have questions, I think this is our last session, yes. So if you have questions, you can do that on the group chat. So he will be available to answer your questions. And please, it's very good to practice what you learn immediately so you won't forget. So please try and practice, even if it's tonight or tomorrow. Just try out something so you won't forget. Is it the query builder and the recon tool? I just learned about what's the name of this new tool you just talked about? I've forgotten. Just utilize what you've learned. Practice. What did you say? Practice so you won't forget. Okay, it's someone talking. Okay, I think do we have any question? Does anyone have any question here? French speakers, I don't understand. Ingrid, can you rephrase your questions? What about the French speakers? You don't understand English or? Yeah, the sessions are in English. We actually have a French session. I think I'll need to reach out to you to get to understand what you're saying. Is it that you don't understand English? If you don't understand, we have sections in French. You can actually join that one if you're not following through. So I'll chat you up on the group, okay? Okay, thank you very much for joining. Since we don't have any question, I think we are going to draw the curtains here. So before we go, let's have a screenshot. Please turn on your camera. If you're okay with that, please go ahead and do that. Turn on your camera so we can have a good shot before we leave. Let's see your beautiful faces and your handsome faces. Gallery. Okay. Are we good to go? Please smile for the camera. Okay, I think someone wants to join. Okay, thank you all for joining. And I hope you practice what you've learned today. So we'll see in the group chats. And please keep on asking questions whenever you encounter any problems. Thank you so much. I'll be ending the call here. Bye, everyone.